good and a pleasant day to each and everyone, especially to our instructor, Mr. Anthony Gamali. Sir, good day. In this video, I will discuss what I have chosen topics. So, before we start, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Janmar Brogenia, second year student in Samis Oriental Institute of Science and Technology. So, without further delay, let's go on to our discussion. So, first of all, our subject is forensic photography. So, let's go on to our first slide. So, what I have chosen topic, chapter 4, which is camera. So, in your own thoughts, what is camera? And what is the purpose of camera in investigation? How important camera in the investigation or in the investigator? So let's go on to our next slide. Camera is a device for recording visual image in the form of photographs, film, or video signals. So ang camera is useful for photographs, filming, or video signals. Is a light type box with a lens of form of image. Camera is a small tight light box with lens for image, with shuttle and diaphragm to control the entry of image. A means of holding film to record the image. Camera is used to record image and videos. Viewer of viewfinder to show the photography what is an image. It shows camera shows viewer and viewfinder to show what is camera, what is photograph in the image. So next slide. Camera classification. Camera are classified as according to a size of a film, the use or format of the picture they produce. First, a large format camera. So these are the large format camera. So this camera have belows unused sheet films in the size of 4x5, 5x7, and 8x10. So here is the first example of 4x5 camera. So second, 5x7 camera. So next is the sample of 8x10 camera. So we're done in the large format camera. So let's go on to our next classification, medium format cameras. So some of these cameras are folding are types with below, and some are rigid body. Medium format camera is like a big and rigid body with a film size of 120, 220, 70 mm. The double lens reflect camera falls under this category. So double lens reflect camera has this classification in this classification of camera. So here is the example of 120 mm camera here. So second is the 220 mm camera. So here in the side of 120 mm. So next is the 70 mm. So it's like a smaller camera with a high lens. Okay, let's go on to our next classification, the small format camera. Small format camera, those with film size with 126, 110, 33 mm, and 8 mm. So here's the example of 35 mm. So it's like a normal size camera with a form of usually camera of all. So here is the 16 mm camera. It's like a old style camera with a high lens. So second, the 8mm, smaller version of old camera. So we are done in the small format cameras. So let's go on to our next topic. The view focusing system. So what is the view focusing system? Those with focusing mechanism at the back of camera. So it's like the back of the camera that we can focus the image through the image. B, those with optical viewfinder. So when you see in the front of the camera, we can see the image, so we can zoom or zoom in, zoom out the image in the viewfinder to shot or to capture a beautiful image of the picture. So let's go on to our next camera. Here is the evolution of the camera. In 1948, Polaroid Land 95 was made. In 1949, the Canon create the 2 IB 1949 Canon. So it's like a normal camera. So it's evolved to 1959, which is the Nikon F. So it's like modern camera. So in the 1959, same year, the Olympus pen was created. It's like it's the same type of camera. It's like Nikon F. So next is the 1962. Hasselblad Lonar Surface. So it's like a camera with a viewfinder in the front. So in the 1972, Polaroid XS70 was created. And the next is 1976, Minolta 110 Zoom SLR. So it's like a modern it's like an evolution from year to year. So next is 1978 Polaroid Super Color 600. So it's a big version of the modern. So next is 1978 Kodak Color Bust 100 instant camera. It's like a radio form, but as we can capture image, it's automatically the photograph will be getting. We can get the camera, we can get the image easily. So next is the 1981 Sony Mavic. So in this photo, or the camera evolution, the 1981 Sony Mavic is the modern. It's like a the modern camera of these days. So let's go on to our next topic. Camera with different film format. So here's the different format of cameras as we can see in the picture. So it's like evolution with the different types. Here is the like a radio type camera. Here. So this is it's like evolution of cameras. So second, the part of single lens reflect camera or the SLR. So as we can see in the image, there is a part of camera. So I'm sorry, I cannot my photograph is blurred because I get this from the Google. So I think this part is in our book, so we can search it there and see the parts of the camera. So we are done in this page. Let's go on to our next slide. Overall design and function. A view camera. A view camera is a single large format camera in which the lens form an inverted image on the ground glass screen directly at the plane of the film. So here is the example of image of the view camera. As we can see in the part which is you can see the viewfinder of the camera, we can see the image in the front of the camera. So B, system camera. It has a rigid body design, accepts a wide variety of lens, viewers, film box, and accessories. So system cameras is like a how you evolve your camera or put a designs, or you can what called of this you can apply a accessories to improve your camera or your design. So it's like a rigid body with a variety of lens, viewers, film box, and accessories. So let's go on to our next. Digital cameras. These types of camera digitalize the image, which can then put into a computer, enhanced through software package such as Adobe Photoshop. So digital cameras is you can connect it to the computer or to software, and you can edit your image through putting it in the computer and editing it, such as the app we can use Adobe Photoshop. So we are done in the digital camera. So we understood that digital camera is it can be connected into the computer and enhance the photos to Adobe Photoshop. So there are two types of digital cameras. Those with fixed memory. This camera has a limited number of images. It can capture, in other words, it have low storage. So those who have fixed memories. So it is a camera with a limited number of image. So we cannot capture as lot as we can. It's a low storage camera. So second, those with removable memory. This camera allow to replace a variety of storage cards in much the same fashion. So there is a type of digital camera that we can replace a variety of storage cards, able to have a high storage. So it's like changing the card into a storage of memory, or as I say, we can replace a memory card and able to have a high storage, so we can capture more about we can capture more image, videos, or any. any we can use in the camera. So next slide. Other features of digital camera. Image product are taken by a digital camera can be viewed in the computer, monitor, or TV. So there's features of digital camera that we can see the image through computer or TV or even a hard copy, and we can print it using a printer connected to the camera. So second, a liquid crystal device or LCD. Monitor digital power and shoot. Camera sometimes do not have optimal finder. So a liquid crystal device, a monitor, we can easily shoot and we can get the image in the device what we can connected. So let's go on to the third, flash unit. Although generally not necessary, but it is required for the backlight subject or really low level light level. So we can use a light to apply in the camera, able to have a lighted subject. So this used for the low light level of low light level cameras. So for zoom lens capability, wide angle, normal, telephoto, even micro. So this features is like a lens with how it works, how zoom is it, and wide, the angle, and the telephoto, even in the micro. So fifth is sound recording, where you can record audio chips such as short description of the image taken or noise the surrounding area. So it's like a video recording. We can use there's a features of digital camera that we can record sounds. We can record video in the we can apply record audio chips as a short description of the image. So let's go on to our sixth, removable lens that you can see around corners. So it's like a lens that you can remove easily and see the around the corners. So next, lens. As we tackle early, I didn't not explain about lens. So let's go on to our next topic, lens. A camera lens is an optical lens or a symbol of lenses used in conjunction with a camera. Body and mechanism to make image of object there, either on photographic film or other media capable of storing an image chemically and electronically. Lens help capture a beautiful image. We can zoom in, zoom out the image, and we can apply high definition of images. So next, two types of lenses. The convergent of positive or convex lens. This lens is always thicker at the center. This lens is like thick in the center, and thinner at the sides. Light passing through it are bended towards each other, and the other sides of lens meeting at the points. Like there's a point of lens is having a point of size that in the middle there's a thicker part. So second, the divergent negative or concave lens. This lens is always thinner at the center. and thicker at the size. So in the first type of lenses, the lens is always thicker at the center. So in the first types of lens, it's like the second is a different. They are different of each other because in the first is in the center is a thicker. Then the second type is in the center is thinner and the sides are thicker. Light passing through are bended away from each other. If coming from a point, it produces a virtual image. So as it coming from the point, it produces a virtual image on the same side of the lens where the light is coming. So let's go on to our next slide. Inherent lens defects or aberration. So the ideal lips for forensic photography will be capable of producing critical sharp and distortion free image. So here is the examples or types of aberration. First is spherical aberration. Spherical aberration is a type of aberration found in the optical system. So this aberration is found in the optical system that have element with the spherical surface. So it's like a spherical shape surface. Lens and curved mirror are prime examples because this shape is easier to manufacture. So lenses and curved mirrors are examples because of their shapes, it's easier to manufacture. So here is the example of a spherical aberration. So you can see in the image lens with spherical aberration. So the light rays is in the light lines. We can see light lines it called light rays. So in the middle, as we can see the green vertical line is the best focus point. This is in the middle, we can see a best focus point as it is like in the middle of the, we can see in the camera, we can see a focus in the middle, best focus point. So later on we can get more topic about this. Comma aberration. The comma or chromatic aberration is an optical system. Refers to aberration inherent to certain optical designs or due to imperfections in the lens or other components. The result is in off-axis point resource such as stars appearing distorted, appearing to have a tail like a comet. So as we can see, the aberration of this is comma. As in the meaning, we can understand well because it's like a tail of a comet. So here is the example of comma. So I cannot easily understand well because I need study this more. So here is the light rays. You can see there. We can understand it when Sir Gamaliel will discuss it. Can understand well. So we as we can see the example, we can get a knowledge about this. So in the next meeting or Sir Gamaliel will discuss this, it can easily to us to understand. So next, number 3 is curvature or field. Curvature of field is present when the sharpest image is formed not on the flat plane but on a curved surface. There is a key word is like example is the curve. So here is the example of curvature field. It's like a object. The object is reflected to the image. So the image is going back to the object. We cannot understand well because I didn't not research well. So I will give you an idea about it as Sir Gamaliel will discuss this, and we can understand well to this discussion. So fourth, distortion. Distortion is an aberration commonly seen in stereoscopic microscopy and is manifested by the changes in the shape of image. So in the distortion, it is we can see it in the stereoscopic microscopy, and it manifests the changes of shape of image or rather than the sharpness of color. It is a changes of image and the sharpest of color spectrum. So we have a knowledge about the color spectrum, which is the different types of colors. Introducing of distortion aberration is more obvious in the specimen having network or regular period features, such as diatoms or microprocessors. So here is the example of distortion. So as we read, we can see the pictures are in different shapes. The image are in different shapes. So here is the examples of it. So here is the distortion free barrel is example of distortion free. Second image is the barrel distortion, and the last is percussion distortion. So let's go on to our next topic, the chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration is a phenomenon in which light rays passing through the lens focus at different points. So chromatic aberration is like a light rays passing to the lens of focus different points depending on their wavelength. It depends to the wavelength of the lens wavelength. There are two types of chromatic aberration: the axial chromatic aberration and the lateral chromatic aberration. So here is the example of lateral transverse chromatic aberration. so we at least can see, we can get an idea about it, as Sir Gamali will discuss this sooner. So here is the RGB color rays. This, with this, and this. The optical axis is in the middle. And the second part is a vertical best focus point in the last in the part which the RGB color rays refracted to the best focus point. So next, astigmatism. Astigmatism aberration are found at the outer portion of the field of uncorrected lens. Astigmatism are found in the outer portion of the field in the view uncorrected lens and cause to ideal particular circular point image or iris pattern. The blur into diffuse circle. It is a blurred to diffuse circle. Elliptical patch or line depending upon the location of the focus plane. So here is the example of astigmatism. So it's like a circular barrier that reflects with a reflections. So let's go on to our next topic. Number 7, the chromatic difference of magnificent. Chromatic aberration, color dispersion in an image view through glass and lens. The changes of image distance with wavelength is known as chromatic aberration, and the variation of magnification with wavelength is known as chromatic difference of magnification. So variation of magnification with wavelength is known as the chromatic difference of magnification. So here is the example of chromatic difference of magnification. So in the image you can see a triangular and circular shapes and patterns that I cannot explain well because next or Cancer Gamali will discuss this. We can identify which is how it works. So that's